Sneaked or snuck? Which is the correct version of sneak in the past tense? Well, here's the answer. Sneaked used to be correct, and snuck will probably be correct in the future. Right now, we're in a weird transitional period where everyone has started saying snuck, but universities and other institutions still insist on sneaked. It's an odd situation, but this isn't the first word that's changed like this. To make most words past tense and perfect tense, you usually just add d or ed to the end. For instance, walked, looked, and hated. But there are plenty of words that don't follow this rule. For example, eat, drink, sleep, and bite are all irregular. In fact, there are so many of these irregularities that it can be difficult to keep track of them. In the past, not many people could remember that the past and perfect tenses of help were holp and holpen, so they just used helped instead. Similarly, melt used to have molt and molten, but now it's just melted. And more recently, dreamt, spilt, and burnt were replaced by dreamed, spilled, and burned. However, you can still find remnants of these older words in common phrases, such as burnt toast, spilt milk, and molten lava. On a similar note, consider the word cleave, which means to split. First it had clove and cloven. Then it was reduced to cleft. And now it's just cleaved. But we still have cloven hooves and cleft palates. Many irregular verbs have changed to regular ed verbs, but it's also possible for a regular verb to become irregular. The past tense of light used to be lighted, but it was replaced by lit quite recently. Likewise, speeded was popular for a while until it was defeated by sped. Even today, words like wedded and petted are disappearing as we increasingly hear people exclaim, "I wet the bed," or "I pet the dog." Spit versus spat, wedded versus wed. In America, dived versus dove, and in Europe, spelled versus spelt. Many of these battles haven't been decided yet, so the correct word depends on who you ask. But here's a simple solution for the current sneaked snuck problem. If you can't decide which one to use, just use creeped instead. Or crept. Crap.